The Roman Station Church pilgrimage of Lent began in the first centuries of post-Constantinian Christianity as the normal way the Pope would celebrate daily Mass with the Christians of Rome. This program, church by church, was formalized by Pope Gregory the Great and then extended by his successors so that by the 8th century you've got a pilgrimage that covers every day of Lent and Easter week.
The Pope starts the Lenten pilgrimage, the series of the churches, himself by going to the Church of Santa Sabina on the Aventine Hill. And the Aventine Hill already begins to suggest several things to us as pilgrims, but also in the very rich and deep history of Rome, because these station churches, this custom, it comes out from first an underground era of Christianity, and then the legalization of Christianity, and then the vision of the Pope crisscrossing the city, of which we have this beautiful vestige on Ash Wednesday, when people get to see the Pope himself within the city of Rome. So I think already we see this wonderful sense of interacting with the city in the station churches and telling the true history of a pagan empire that converted to Christianity.
This tradition died out in the first centuries of the second millennium of Christian history, but it's now been revived by Americans in Rome, specifically the Pontifical North American College, the American Seminary in Rome, where beginning in the mid to late 1970s, seminarians and student priests began recreating this pilgrimage experience. Today, in 2014, there are hundreds of English speakers every day attending the stational Mass of the day, recreating the experience of the 5th, 6th, 7th century. It's quite remarkable.
I think the fact that the pilgrimage takes place in Rome, where the churches are so beautiful, has a big impact, not only from a photographer's standpoint in terms of what I'm able to capture on camera, but on the pilgrims themselves. It's hard not to walk in these places and catch your breath. There's a beauty there that, it's hard to get around. You're going there early in the morning, you start out kind of tired, and by the time you get there and you step in, it's like you had a couple cups of coffee. It wakes you up.
The station church itinerary is the true itinerary of Rome. We don't know what tourists did when they went to visit the empire. I suppose they went to see the Temple of Jupiter and they went down to the Pantheon. But we know that for 1,000 years, or over 1,000 years, when people walked their way to Rome, when people struggled, they spent months and months and months to get here. What they wanted to see are these often very intimate, quiet, and sometimes not even decorated spaces, but spaces where we remember, we look at, and particularly compared to the grandeur of the monuments like the Colosseum, we remember how the humility of Christianity, that willingness to sacrifice, eventually built something that would last while the other things crumbled.
I think it's particularly important for this moment in Catholic history to ponder the fact that this is a pilgrimage to the tombs of martyrs. We are living in the greatest season of martyrdom in Christian history. More Christians confessed their faith with their lives in the 20th century than in the previous 19 centuries of Christian history put together, and that continues on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. So to be in prayer at the tombs of ancient martyrs is also to be in solidarity with the suffering church throughout the world today, and to remind ourselves of the extraordinary blessing that is religious liberty, a blessing that has to be defended constitutionally, legally, and by the quality of our own civic lives.